So next up we have Susan Kimberlin. She's a director of product management at Salesforce.com, and she works on our search technologies, one of the most pervasive systems in all of Salesforce. And she has a background in linguistics and has worked on search technologies throughout her career. On the side, she's on the board of directors for a nonprofit called About Face, which promotes media literacy and improving self-esteem for women, young women and girls. So thank you for those efforts on the side. Go. All right, Susan, come on up.
Okay, I do feel like I'm on a short leash here. So. Let's see. Alrighty. First of all, I would really like to thank the organizers. I would like to thank GGD. And I want to thank Nalini, who has been working tirelessly on organizing this effort. She's the one who invited me to be a speaker, and she's on one of my teams, and she's amazing. So thank you, Nalini. So, a little bit more about me. I do have a linguistics background, and we're going to talk all about that. And I've been at Salesforce for 5.5 years, and it has been a wonderful ride. And I think we have an amazing group of women that work here at Salesforce. And I'm excited to recruit more, and excited to try and even out the numbers a little bit. I know, especially, I think we're better than average, I think, when it comes to how our gender demographics are in our technology roles. We're worse than average in product management, which is something that I would love to change. So, but I do see some of my fellow product managers, lady product managers in the back of the room, so go us. So, before I talk about this, I'm going to do a poll, and then we're going to come back to this information later. How many of you code? Have written code? All right, awesome, sexy. Okay. And how many of you have either speak more than one language natively, or have learned another language, took Spanish in school, did that whole thing? Nice. Okay. So just think about that. Keep that in mind. And how many of you have memorized at least part of The Princess Bride? Okay. So I want to talk about how the way that people articulate feedback about how they're experiencing your product or what problems they're trying to solve, how as a product manager you need to translate that. You need to understand it and translate it. And I thought that Vicini and Inigo here sort of demonstrate that very well, because Vicini finds when he finds that he was wrong about something, or he's not as good at something as he thought, he finds it inconceivable, right? And Inigo is noticing how out of sync or out of touch with reality Vicini is, and he finally mentions this word. You keep saying this word. I don't think this word means what you think it means. Guess which of these two is the product manager in this scenario?
Right.
You guys think it's Inigo over there?
Yes.
All right. Good. Me too. So, as a product manager, my goal is basically to make Salesforce successful. Really, everybody that works for the company is trying to make Salesforce successful, but the way that we do that is by making our customers successful. Customers have tasks that they're trying to accomplish. They're trying to save money. They're trying to stay in business. If we can make them successful using our products, they will continue to pay us for their products, and we will therefore continue to be a company, and we will do well, and all of those good things. It's my job to understand what our customers need and guide the teams that I work with through building that and delivering it to them. And so that's my motivation. That's where I'm trying to get. And understanding what people need is key to being able to build the thing that they need and deliver it to them. Another thing to think about is that there are the customers that pay Salesforce. There are those customers. But we have internal customers as well. The teams that I work with, as Nalini can tell you, they need things from me. They need me to do my job well. My managers need me to do my job well. And I have deliverables for all of them. So this is what I'm trying to achieve. Now, as we mentioned, I have a background in linguistics, and I've found that I use the training that I have from linguistics in a lot of ways, which is fun. And one of the ways that I use it is just by understanding a little bit more about language. There's a couple things about language that are kind of interesting. One thing is that the definition of natural language, so you could think of like English as a natural language, the definition of a natural language is simply that there's understanding between the person who's issuing the language, person or people, and the person or people that are receiving it. So I say something, you understand it, that's natural language accomplishing its function. Sometimes people think about language as it's related to things like grammar. Is the apostrophe in the it's supposed to be there or not? That is not, that's not natural language, that's grammar, and natural language is pretty much defined by mutual understanding, which is important if you're trying to understand what people need from you and build it for them. The other thing that I think is kind of a fun tidbit, which is why I asked you guys up front about coding and learning other languages, is that code is actually a language as well. Was there anybody who codes but has never taken a second language? Like doesn't speak two languages or ever learned another language?
Depends on what you mean by speak.
Yeah. Not so much speak, but like tried to learn, had to take Spanish or French in college or school or anything like that. No, okay. I was going to say to those people, congratulations. If you can code, you actually speak another language too, because code is basically a synthetic language. It does all the things that natural language does. It describes something, it describes a concept or a function, and accomplishes that. So I always thought that was pretty cool, and that was kind of one of the things that led me into working in technology. So this is my background. And the thing is, everybody talks about their needs and expresses themselves in a different way. Everyone kind of has their own language, and I've got some examples here. So my customers of Salesforce, people trying to use Salesforce search, they'll say things like, I wanted to work like Google. And that's legitimate feedback. Pretty much anything anybody says to you when you're trying to gather feedback about a product is legitimate. What that means, the way I translate that, is they have a great experience with Google. They love Google. Everybody loves Google. I do too. I love it. And they like it because it accomplishes what they're trying to do, which is find one or two or three things out of all of the things that they could be looking at. It does it fast, has a simple interface. It presents the thing that they were looking for at the top of the list of results that it gets back. It also tells you that there are 800 gazillion billion other results as well, because they index the whole web. But you got what you were looking for right at the top. So simple interface, relevant results, having been able to access the right result from across all of the different places it could have come from. That's what they're saying when they say, I want it to work like Google. That's what they want. And those are things that I can take and turn into the product, build into the product. Simple interface? Cool. I'll get my designer right on that. Or another example, and I love this one because this is very generalized, but I get this a lot as a product manager. This button here, I really need that button over there. Yeah. This button's in the wrong place. And that's not really describing a problem, that's describing a solution. But what it usually means is my users, or I, if I'm a user, I'm trying to accomplish something, I'm trying to do my job, and I get to a point where the next thing I need to do is click this button, and it's not near where I'm coming from. I ended here and the button's over there. Or I have a bunch of users that are ending on the top of the page and the button's at the bottom and they can't find it, and then they don't do their job. Or it takes them longer to do their job. Those are the kinds of things that you hear from customers, external customers. You also get feedback from internal customers, like your development team. And this stuff's important because these are the people that are actually building the product. Were it not for them, you would have nothing to sell people. So a couple of these, some of these are real world examples from my life. Is it okay, and it usually is in this tone of voice too, would it be okay if we just did it this way? Like instead, can we just do this? Usually, that means that the person who's trying to implement it, they're trying to implement what you have designed and spec'd out. But there's something that's keeping them from being able to do what you said. Maybe it's going to take a long time, and they feel under pressure from time constraints. Maybe there's a technical constraint. There's something that's really challenging, a problem that they haven't solved, a problem that's hard to solve. Usually, that means their instinct is that this isn't really what the users want, but I have a problem and I can't build the thing that the users want. So it means you can go back and look at your plan and find out what's going on there. Another favorite is, it will take me 2 years to build this. And we have to, be done in 3 months. That one is kind of similar. That means that the problem is not, the thing that they're trying to do is not well understood. Anytime you don't know all the details about what it's supposed to look like when you're done, or you don't know what the user is going to do with it, like maybe it's not clear what the product is supposed to accomplish, things like that, lead development teams in particular to say, well, it's going to take a really long time, because I don't know how long it's going to take me to even figure that out. So it means that, I haven't done my job in explaining clearly what it is that we're trying to accomplish. So I'm going to go back and do that.
Susan.
I have 1 minute.
Let's skip the organization.
Let's skip the organizational managers. So some tools for translating, and I just talked you through those examples, so you heard me actually using some of them. A couple simple tools that you can keep in mind when you're hearing from your customers and people who need things from you. One thing, walk in their shoes. What's their goal? What are they trying to accomplish? Are they trying to save money? Are they trying to accomplish a task that your product doesn't do? And if you can answer those questions and understand where they're coming from, then you know what they meant when they said, I need that button over there. Because it really meant I can't do my task because I can't find the button. Another thing that you can keep in mind is once you understand what they're saying, what it is that they need, then you know that even if they said, take this button and move it over there, what they really meant was they need to accomplish this task, and so you can solve that problem for them. You don't need to literally do what they told you to do. You need to do whatever addresses their need. So those are a couple things to keep in mind.
For example, doing a hot button is a thing, like an artwork thing.
Exactly. And the last thing is that every interaction you have with anyone, because everybody that you work with is an internal customer, everybody that buys your products is an external customer, it's an opportunity to get feedback, translate that feedback. And I just love this graphic because it's true. They said they wanted this, but they really wanted that. And it's great to exercise that. Probably can use it in your life outside of work as well. So that's it. Always be translating.
Oh, wait.
Oh, love that.
Yeah.
And that's it.